Welcome to another Rockford UFS deck profile. I have
Your boy Reese!
So, what did you play tonight, Reese?
Today I played Edward and Ein, the lovely 56 plus character deck.
What symbol?
I played Order today.
Cool. So you won. How did your matchups go today?
I 2-0'd Tyler, Trip Pants, playing Vicious. Super easy. I don't know what went wrong with that. I'm sorry, Vicious. And Tyler. And then I played against Mr. Airman on stream, so you can watch all that go down. Josh decided to build 6, so I threw out Digital Manipulation and chopped a third of him off right from the get-go. And that then built really well, so it was pretty good. Game 2, again, just didn't build all the way out, and I couldn't just hammer time him, but I got 4 leg crunches, or leg munches, as you hear on the stream, in 3 turns. So, again, he died. And then I went up against Rockford's own UFS dad, played against Spike 2. Game 1, I took decisively. Game 1, I took decisively. Game 2, he kicked my butt. Game 3, when you rip 2 digital manipulation, your opponent has 2 cards in hand, they die.
Yeah, that happened. And I could have blocked both of them, but they were partial blocks, so I was gonna die anyways.
Zero mid-tens do work.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let's get into the deck.
Alright, so whenever it's all zoomed up and ready.
You're good, man.
Alright,
Go
so
for it.
first we have the starting character, the Ed and Ein. And then we have, of course, 3 more Ed and Ein, because you have to play it that way, and it's great. The ability is pretty simple. As it'll be flashing up on screen, you get to, instead of trying to build these and taking forever, you get to start with all 4 right before the game begins, as it was errated to. I don't know the exact wording. And then the E is pretty simple, that on my turn, whether it's your attack or my attack, because Chris reversaled me and I was still able to do it, which was great, I had one of these to my hand instead of connected to my character, and then you discard a card. If it's an attack, that's enough of a discard, I get nothing else. But if you discard a non-attack card, whether an asset, action, or foundation, I get to either commit one of your foundations, or I get to draw a card.
What are we getting into first?
Let's run over to the actions, because it's very short, very sweet, very simple, because I love them. Here we go! I own 2 Here We Go, and thought that, you know, there's a lot of actions off of Order, like Stop and Showdown, which are pretty good, but they're in my sideboard.
Forgot about Prepare to Fight.
I don't own any. So, Thomas Gordon special just coming in right here. I got these 2 lovely Here We Go.
That card's sick though. It has a +0 low with a breaker 2.
It's fantastic. It essentially allows you to use more of Ed and Nine or more of their support by adding another one to your hand or to it and then to your hand. Blah, 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 blah. So then we got a little asset right here. Homemade explosives. Pretty simple. On all 3 symbols, you tend to play them just because it's damage reduction, damage pump, drawing cards, and destruction for assets.
Yeah,
So
it's a fantastic
kind
card.
of self-explanatory there.
Yeah.
Next, let's run to the attacks. So the big
You don't
heavy
have to
hitter-
go as fast. You're good.
Sorry, I'm nervous. It
I know.
happens.
We're only 3 minutes in. You don't have to zoom through it.
All right, so the most important card in the deck, Digital
You
Manipulation.
play 4 of those?
I play 4 of those.
You're
and
a
I
madman.
I also play 3 foundations and play them on turn 1, and not once did I check it 2. It was great.
You got lucky.
I always. So this card is back to that 0 mid-10 nonsense. So its bottom E is reducing the speed to 0. Its attack gets essentially doubled from what it started from. So with N9 it works really well. Or
Because
if your
opponent has no hand anyway.
essentially
So you can't block.
Or if your opponent decides to build 6 foundations as a 6-hander turn 1, they just eat 10 because by discarding a card you can give the check to play it +2. Whether it's a block or an attack. So you check that 3, your opponent thinks, aha, I'm safe. And you just drop, I don't know, the other attack in your hand and bam.
That's pretty sweet.
Another really important card right here. We got the Leg Munch. This card is the Twinkle Murdoch, or anti-Twinkle Murdoch card that I put in here thinking, I mean, probably not going to discard that many cards to get that speed bonus because it's not that important. That was the biggest lie I told myself as I proceeded to drop 10 low 10s, 9 low 7s, whatever it was.
It's
Just
pretty sweet.
so much damage.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's a really good outlet for momentum use because I had the same issue with him last week where I didn't have a momentum dump, and this week with Spike 2 I was able to just dump EX. First I used the one attack where I got +1 damage for each momentum, and then
Swordfish
I dumped
Gunfire.
Swordfish Gunfire, and then I dumped it all for EX2. So I was like, cool man, thanks.
It's a real fast
It's
spaceship.
a real fast spaceship.
That, along with other foundation, which we'll get to, were the only things I had for momentum. So I was kind of leery about it, but I see enough leg crunches. So whatever. Next, we have Ein's Brain Scratch, a really interesting utility card. So it has safe, which is nice because reversals get really annoying, but I never really had enough safe, so I still got reversal anyway. But the first one is you can force your opponent to discard a card. If it's a non-attack card, then you get +3 speed, which doesn't really matter because they draw another card, which means if you know they're holding like a Templar, a Prepare to Fight, or an attack because you know that they drew it the last turn for whatever reason, you can make sure that they pitch it, so hopefully you can draw a card with a 9 or commit that one foundation you're really afraid of. Other than that, it's just another low attack because I was just channeling my inner Snake Man, apparently. Next, we'll get to a lovely little 3 of the Samba Slam. Samba Slam is a pretty good card. For your first attack, it gets +2 speed and stun 2, which means I only want to play 3 because I don't want to see it every attacking turn, just to see it about every other.
Well, you do want to see it every attacking turn, but you just don't want to see multiple copies.
I suppose that's fair. Because you also get stun 2, which is pretty nice. That, along with Edward 9, sometimes gets you stun 3 on the attack if you don't have to draw more, which quite often I did. And it's got that sexy +1 high block.
+0 high block.
Sorry, +0 high block. Sorry, I'm looking at this and skip my brain. And now, for another moment of channeling my inner Thomas Gordon, 3 Leaping Neck Chomp. This card is amazing. You can add a 6-diff card, whether it is at 9 or another 6-diff foundation.
Is it a control check, though? It's control.
Control, not difficult.
It's fine.
The combo enhance is what really makes it shine. So if you've played it after Ein's Brain Scratch, Leaping Next, whatever, that's this one. Or Datadog, the ally foundation, you can use this combo. And you can discard a card and get its control in damage, which means I can throw 10 damage or 10 speed attacks, and it's big fun. But I only own 3. So you see 3. Had I owned 4 of this and 3 digital manipulation, I might have done it the other way around. But
I think I would have done it the other way around, period.
I suddenly realized I had 4, and I thought, well, I'm not playing Iceman, so I have to play it somehow. And that is it for attacks. It's a nice solid 18.
Did you find playing against you, I didn't see any difficulty with all the 5 diffs that you had? Because you do play a fair amount of 5 diffs. So I didn't really notice you having an issue with
against
checks.
you in particular, using Spike 2, you would pitch one of my earlier attacks because you were afraid of 10 damage, which is a really interesting mind game. But no, for whatever reason, I checked a lot of 5s, and the deck plays a lot of 6s, which really helps with that kind of issue.
Yeah.
I think in future, I might change my foundation base to play more 6s if I can manage, just because they're really helpful. But so far as the 4 diffs, I think I might go down 1 leg crunch for another Leaping Neck Chomp if I had one. But that's
or
just
dump digital manipulation for a
I don't know.
Neck
It did so much work today.
Gotcha.
It was eating people alive. So now let's go into everybody's favorite type of foundation, the spam. So first up, we have the card I never used, Pursuing a Vendetta.
The card is fantastic.
I sat across from Trip Pants playing Vicious, and he used Conqueror of Night and Day and blew up about 8 of my foundations during our 2 games. Not once did I use this when it was on my field, because I am bad and I've owned it for a week, and I apparently forgot how to read. Thought it specified face up.
The card's so good.
Doesn't. So next we have the secret combo, Datadog. Nobody here that I was playing against really used Momentum all that well. Chris used it quite a bit, but I never had it on board against him, so it didn't matter. Its ability is Respond Commit after opponent discards any number of cards from their hand. During the combat phase, they discard Momentum as well, which is really helpful for that control aspect of order, but I was kind of just trying to beat face and eat people, so I didn't really care.
You were trying to munch people, would you say?
Absolutely. And then we have Tyler's favorite card in the world, Feifei! And why? Because I say Feifei every time I play it, because I don't know. You know, it's for the first time. She's actually right side up when I look at it.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with a girl like any other, it's that, only better.
Is that really all your spam?
Yeah.
12?
I didn't even play any zeros.
Oh, you are 59 plus characters.
I am a 56 card deck.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Yes.
So let's jump into the 3 diffs because they were kind of important. The best card in the deck, Tijuana Groceries, did not see it once.
I love that card. It's so good.
The 3 diff I saw, if not both, every single game, Invincible Iron Body. This card is amazing. +1 low block, love it. Can give my attacks safe if my opponent is someone like Jeddah or someone I'm afraid of is just going to try reversal and eat my face. And then it can also prevent stun. Or if you watch the stream, I'll commit it instead of Hacker Extraordinaire and then get stunned anyway. And then I also have Mushroom Experimentation. It's a 6 check, which is really helpful for trying to throw all those 5 diff attacks. And it also gets a bonus with Leaping Neck Chomp in case I want to build, because it's like, well, I drew 2 attacks, I have 3 foundations and an asset, but I only have 2 on board. Like, well, I can just add a couple more to hand and go from there, but it's also a really good damage reset. I was kind of afraid of, is it Takeoff is the Spike 2 card?
Which one?
Non-block if your opponent does something that lowers damage, flip, they lose 2 vitality.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, it's Fueling Up.
Fueling Up. I was kind of afraid of that when Chris had it on board, but then he was like, ah, yes, I'll just put it into my momentum. And I was like, okay. Don't have to worry about that then.
That was me not paying attention to the board state.
He still killed me.
I still won, but then I lost game 3 really badly. You'll see that on stream too.
Alright, so my last moment of channeling the Thomas Gordon special is 1 Radical Edward. This card's amazing. I would love to play 3. So instead I played 2 Buddhist Devotion because I was like, it's still got that high block. It's got Breaker. On that off chance my opponent has 2 cards in hand or 3 cards in hand and I just want to kill them, I can sometimes feint it with Buddhist Devotion. That worked pretty well.
It actually has a better block.
It does, and it has Breaker, but it's not check,
Yeah.
stack a character.
Yeah.
Radical Edward, great card. Doesn't even
Yeah.
matter if you can play it on your symbols if you're a stacking character, it's just super good. The E-Commit is also really good, but I had it, I think, on board once, and my opponent didn't even have an asset.
Yeah, the E-Commit's fantastic.
So the other momentum dump in the deck is Hacker Extraordinaire. Another card I actually saw a lot of for only playing 2. It also gets you snap momentum if a respond commit after you take 5 or more damage. You get to add the top card of your deck to your momentum, which fuels its next ability that once per turn by discarding momentum, you can draw a card, which is playable while committed.
The card.
You may also flip one of your opponent's assets.
Yeah.
Another thing I
yeah,
forgot.
Yeah, the thing's really good. Yeah, the card's super good. This card is
You
very
see,
good.
I could have killed Tyler faster by flipping the bird and not having the bird be flipped on me.
Flipped him the bird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The secret tech against Vicious that I threw in here, because I was like, there's going to be fast people, and then didn't see against Airman, was For Mother Russia, a card that has unique, for probably good reason. Destroy, set it back to its printed speed. That's okay, you can play while committed, so it's pretty cool. But the Archmit, after your opponent has 1 or more cards to their hand due to their non-character effect, they add 1 card from their card pool to their 1 card from their hand to their card pool face down.
Yep.
Sadly, it's a 4-check, because Order has a lot of really good 4-check foundations, but it's super powerful and was really helpful against Trip Pants who's playing Vicious, because then I just dropped a digital manipulation, and I was like, well, now it's a secret 3 speed for 10. Next, we have the greatest card, the most powerful card, the Loyal Friend. Another secret combo card here because it has Ally, and it's perfect accuracy without the block. The lack of block doesn't really matter in the deck because I think I only play 6, which is Tijuana, the 3 Loyal Friends, and the 2 Hacker Extraordinaires. So I wasn't too worried about that one, and being able to hit 1 specific foundation every now and again was really nice, especially when it's something like Dust in the Wind, so I didn't have a -2 speed for 4.
It doesn't really matter when you can bounce a +0 mid block to your hand on your turn anyways.
It's true. So I guess we'll swap the 2 order of these that I was going to talk about, because yet again we have another Order 4-check, a new rival. I feel like this card could have had a better block on it, and it still would have been as okay as it is, because nobody plays stackers right now. Until today, baby. Its form is pretty nice, especially in Mega Man, but in Ed 9 it works because it's form, discard a character card, draw a card. So with Ed 9 you essentially have E, draw a card if your opponent discards a card. If your opponent discards a non-attack card, draw a second time. And the other part to it is E-Commit, your attack gets +1 damage for each character card in both staging areas with a maximum of 5. So if you go up against something like a Mad Perot, another Mega Man, or even another Ed 9, you have that nice damage bump, which sadly is only playable off of Order, but I think Order might be their best symbol, because they get a lot of fun little toys.
I just play Order just because you get to play groceries.
Fair. I never saw it, but fair. Now, the last card, which may come as a surprise, isn't nearly consumed. It's actually Cowgirl Edward. As you can tell, I was kind of afraid of stun. I, for whatever reason, thought there was going to be a lot of it. So again, another anti-stun card.
No one was playing Jet here tonight.
Yeah, funnily enough. And then this extra commit, discard a card, your attack has +3 damage, which is kind of neat. It's another one of those hidden combo cards with the ally keyword. None of Wily's symbols, which I love.
Well, it works with Miska.
It's true. And then it's got a nice little +2 high block. I almost put Nearly Consumed in instead because I thought, hey, if I'm taking a lot of damage, I'll throw more in. But I think Radical Edward does a better job anyway because it doesn't have to be on board. It's not a 4-check, and it has a block.
Yep.
But Cowgirl Edward really served its purpose in that if I needed...
Power creep, cash grab.
Yeah, exactly. And if I needed that extra bit of damage, I could do it. I don't think I actually did all day because digital manipulation just put in so much work. So that concludes the Ed 9 deck, the 56 plus character deck.
So what would you think would be something other than the attacks that you said you'd swap out? Would be you'd want to change a bit?
The Here We Goes, I think, are a very fun little bit. So I guess I'll talk about my sideboard, which I never used.
Sure.
I'll pick up one of each of the cards and I'll just kind of flash it real quick. So in my sideboard, I had 4 actions, which was I had 2 Showdown, which I'm sure Chris will put on screen so you can actually read it.
Yeah.
I figured if somebody was trying to go in too hard on me, I could use that to go with a stun and then use the attack in my sideboard, which was Top Spin, which secretly at 9 can play both enhances. It's amazing. So that I could try and kind of say to my opponent, oi, get off me, and then next turn I can just chomp them in the neck and kill them. So then the last 2 cards, which I had separate actions, were 2 Stop. I wasn't sure if I was going to see something like a Jet, or if we were going to have some other character like a Base come in out of nowhere that was just going to be a real pain in the ass to deal with. So I thought, if I just had 2 Stop, I have it if I need it.
Okay.
I thought, that'd be great against Airman, and then it's like 10 speed, and I'm like, I can't. I can't block that with Ed 9, let alone Stop.
You could side Guile's Face for decks that do that, but again, you play +0 mid blocks, so
I do.
You don't really need a Guile's Face, but a good thing about Guile's Face is that on multiples, it sets it back to printed 0 in mid zone. So
in future, I think I might swap up the foundations a little bit to include Guile's Face. I actually thought about going to 60, what would that be? That was 62 plus character.
Yeah.
So then the -2, so 59 plus character, normal deck.
Wow.
By adding the 3 Guile's Face, but I can only find 2.
The Thomas Gordon problem.
Well, I was like, I know I have like 6 more somewhere, but I'm gonna take it as a sign that it doesn't deserve a spot in my deck. It's just better. It's better coaster.
All right, cool. So any plans for the following tournaments? Gonna play her again?
I am going to stick with Ed 9 until I get tired of her because it is so much fun.
Sweet, dude. All right, so we're gonna thank you, and this will conclude the deck profile.
Signing off.
Thanks.